The house that everyone refuses to talk about. Imagine driving through a quiet town where every street feels ordinary until you reach one lonely road. At the end of that road stands a house with broken windows, faded paint, and a front door that has not been opened in years. The strange part isn't the way it looks. The strange part is what happens when you ask the locals about it. Their smiles disappear. Their voices become quieter. Some quickly change the subject, while others simply walk away without saying a single word. It is as if an invisible rule exists that nobody should ever mention that place. But why would an entire community stay silent about one abandoned house? What could have happened inside those walls that turned a simple building into a mystery everyone refuses to talk about? Welcome back to CaseVanta, where every mystery hides another layer beneath the surface, and every forgotten story deserves to be uncovered. Today we are exploring the unsettling tale of a house that became more than just an empty structure. It became a symbol of fear, secrets, and unanswered questions. Whether the truth is supernatural, criminal, or something even stranger, one thing is certain: silence often hides the darkest stories. The house was built nearly a century ago on the outskirts of a peaceful village surrounded by fields and forests. When it was first completed, it was considered one of the finest homes in the area. Children would play in its large garden, while neighbors admired its elegant architecture. The family living there appeared successful and respected. They attended local events, greeted everyone warmly, and never seemed different from anyone else. Then everything changed. One autumn evening, the family vanished without warning. Their dinner remained untouched on the table. The lights were still on when neighbors noticed something unusual late at night. The family car sat in the driveway, exactly where it had always been parked. Yet every room inside was empty. The police searched for days. Nearby woods were explored. Rivers were examined. Friends and relatives were questioned. No evidence explained where the family had gone. No bodies were found. No ransom demands arrived. It was as if they had stepped into thin air. At first, investigators believed the family had secretly moved away. But important belongings remained inside the house. Passports, clothing, jewelry, and even money had been left behind. Why would anyone leave with nothing and never return? Months passed. Eventually, another family purchased the property at a remarkably low price. They believed the rumors were simply local superstition and expected a peaceful new beginning. For the first few weeks, everything seemed normal. Then the noises started. Every night, at exactly 2:13 in the morning, footsteps echoed through the upstairs hallway. Doors slowly opened by themselves. Objects disappeared, only to reappear in different rooms days later. Their young daughter claimed she often saw a woman standing near the staircase, staring without blinking before fading into darkness. The parents dismissed her stories until one morning they discovered muddy footprints leading from the front door to the attic. The strange part was that the footprints ended in the center of the room with no trail leading back. They stayed only 6 months before leaving without explanation. Over the following decades, several owners attempted to live there. None lasted longer than a year. One couple reportedly abandoned all their furniture and drove away before sunrise. Another owner hired builders to renovate the property, but workers repeatedly refused to continue after claiming tools vanished or hearing whispers from empty rooms. One electrician allegedly quit after discovering every wire he installed had somehow been removed overnight, despite locked doors and security cameras showing nothing unusual. As stories spread, curiosity replaced logic. Teenagers began sneaking inside for thrills. Most returned frightened. One group claimed they heard someone breathing directly behind them, despite being alone. Another reported seeing lights in upstairs windows while standing outside, only to discover the electricity had been disconnected years earlier. A photographer entered, hoping to capture abandoned architecture. When reviewing his images later, he noticed an unfamiliar figure standing in nearly every picture. It appeared as a tall man dressed in old-fashioned clothing, whose face was impossible to recognize. The photographer insisted nobody else had entered the building that day. Paranormal investigators soon arrived, carrying cameras, microphones, temperature sensors, and electromagnetic equipment. Their recordings included unexplained voices whispering single words too faint to identify. One audio clip seemed to contain someone repeating, "Don't open it." Nobody knew what "it" referred to. The basement became the focus of attention after investigators discovered a section of concrete that sounded hollow when tapped. Local authorities examined it, but found nothing unusual beneath. Yet the mystery only fueled speculation. Some believed hidden tunnels existed under the house, connecting to forgotten wartime shelters. Others insisted valuables stolen generations ago remained concealed somewhere inside. Theories multiplied faster than facts. An elderly resident eventually shared an unsettling memory from childhood. She recalled seeing black cars parked outside the property late at night during the 1960s. Men wearing dark coats would carry sealed boxes inside before leaving before dawn. Her parents warned her never to speak about it. Years later, she regretted staying silent, but admitted she still feared discussing what she witnessed. Another former neighbor remembered hearing arguments coming from the house, despite knowing it had been abandoned at the time. Curious, he looked through a window and saw lights flickering inside. As soon as he approached the front door, every light instantly disappeared. When police arrived after his report, they found dust covering every floor untouched. No footprints, no signs of entry, nothing. As interest grew online, urban explorers traveled from across the country, hoping to solve the mystery themselves. Videos uploaded from inside the building attracted millions of viewers. Yet, several creators removed their footage unexpectedly, refusing interviews afterward. One simply posted a message saying, "Some places should remain forgotten." No further explanation followed. Researchers searched historical archives, hoping official records might reveal hidden tragedies. Newspaper articles described a fire decades before construction began that destroyed an older structure on the same land. Property documents revealed ownership changes that never matched tax records. Birth certificates listed residents who could not be connected to any living relatives. Even maps seemed inconsistent. On some editions, the house appeared normally. On others, the location was left completely blank. Historians dismissed these irregularities as clerical mistakes, but conspiracy theorists believed someone intentionally erased information. Perhaps the most disturbing claim involved a local postman. According to village legend, he once attempted to deliver a package addressed to the abandoned house, despite nobody officially living there. When he knocked, someone answered. A pale, elderly woman accepted the parcel politely and closed the door. Satisfied, he returned to work. The next day, officials informed him the property had been empty for nearly 20 years. Thinking it was a joke, he revisited the location. The package sat unopened on the porch, exactly where he remembered handing it over. His signature book still showed confirmation of delivery. The handwriting, however, did not match any known resident. Psychologists studying the phenomenon suggested social influence might explain many reports. When enough people expect strange experiences, normal events become exaggerated through fear and suggestion. Old buildings naturally produce unusual sounds as wood expands and contracts. Shadows appear threatening when viewers already anticipate danger. But psychological explanations failed to satisfy everyone. Engineers inspecting the structure found unusual magnetic variations around certain rooms. While not dangerous, they admitted the readings fluctuated unpredictably without obvious cause. Scientists argued faulty underground minerals might interfere with instruments and human perception. Again, no definitive answer emerged. One documentary crew decided to spend an entire weekend inside the house, with multiple cameras operating continuously. The first night passed quietly. During the second night, every battery drained simultaneously, despite being fully charged. Backup equipment malfunctioned minutes later. When power returned unexpectedly, one camera contained a recording no crew member remembered filming. It showed the empty hallway for exactly 4 minutes. At the final second, a child's voice softly whispered, "You shouldn't have come." Audio experts could not identify where the sound originated. The footage spread rapidly before disappearing from public platforms. Whether removed for publicity or genuine fear remains unknown. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not what happened inside the house, but why the community refuses to discuss it. Journalists interviewing residents often receive identical responses. "I don't know anything." "It's better not to ask." "Leave the past alone." These answers come even from people who spent decades living nearby. Silence itself becomes evidence of something deeper. Fear has a way of surviving longer than facts. Some believe the house witnessed crimes powerful individuals want it forgotten. Others suspect generations of rumors transformed coincidence into legend until nobody could separate reality from fiction. And there is another possibility. Maybe the house is completely ordinary. Maybe every strange event has a rational explanation buried beneath misunderstanding and exaggeration. Yet if that is true, why does nobody willingly spend a night there? Why do visitors leave unsettled despite expecting nothing unusual? Why does every story, regardless of who tells it, end with the same warning? Never go back. As years continue passing, nature slowly reclaims the building. Vines climb cracked walls. Rain leaks through broken ceilings. Birds nest where families once gathered for dinner. Wind whistles through shattered windows, carrying sounds that could easily be mistaken for distant voices. Eventually, the house may collapse entirely. When that day arrives, whatever secrets remain inside could disappear forever beneath dust and rubble. Future generations might only hear fragments passed down through whispered conversations and fading memories. A forgotten address, an abandoned doorway, a silence too heavy to ignore. Perhaps the greatest mysteries are not hidden because they cannot be solved. Perhaps they survive because people choose not to remember. And maybe somewhere, on an isolated road where nobody likes to stop, there is still a lonely house waiting for someone curious enough to ask the question everyone else avoids. What really happened here? Thank you for watching CaseVanta. If this mystery made you question the line between truth and legend, make sure to subscribe, share your own theories in the comments, and join us for the next investigation, where another forgotten story waits to be uncovered. Until then, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember that sometimes the silence surrounding a place can be more terrifying than anything hiding inside it.